very special announcement from Gabe Newell, and he just like gets on a stripper pole and just does the dance number. That's it. That's his special presentation. Just walks off the stage.
And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly. The show covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. I'm Vin, that's Jordan, that's Pedro, and together with you, Shot Realm Dynamic, helping us form Cocaine Voltron, baby. Yeah. What's up, what's new? I've been playing around. This show is being brought to you by a banana pie. It's a router.
Oh.
It is. It's running everything. And I say that so I can immediately throw a banana pie under the bus in case anything goes wrong. Because it smells a little bit like burning.
Smell a little bit like cooked plantains.
It's a little bit frightening when you go and you start reading. It's like, so this thing is like, yeah, it smells like burning, but it's okay. I'm like, all right.
It's got to burn the factory oils off of it first.
Listen. It's not immediately harmful to you.
Not yet, not yet. So if we poof off the internet, that's what we're going to blame that on. But that does bring me into the topic. Where are we at with frustration with Linux likes? Because let me tell you what I'm talking about. We kind of touched on it in the pre-super shows, and I was like, hey, gentlemen, when was the last time you had to hook up a serial connection? Which I did. This is going to be for interfacing Linux, if you're curious about it right now. I've been playing around with that. And when you're on a serial console, you're dealing with the operating system. That's not fucking Linux, but damn, it's close. I'm looking at you, Cisco. I'm looking at you, MikroTik. I'm looking at you, Android. It is so mothering frustrating. Does it bother you? That just drives me up the wall when I have a command line and it's got LS. You know, it's got FDisk, but then you try to do something fancy like, oh, I don't know, like DF. And I'm like, what?
Well, welcome to my life in BusyBox and any sort of like embedded container Linux. Yep. They're just like, oh, you want the worst version of everything compiled against Moozle so nothing works? Oh, Python's broken. Let's just remove AWS support entirely.
Oh, you want to install a package? Oh, yeah. Oh, you got to type in APK. What?
Yeah, APK add.
Mm-hmm. Now it's APK add. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and hope it's there. Or you're building that shit in that container and you're waiting a while.
And APK fix. Like what? Why not reinstall? Why not reinstall? Why are we not doing that? Why don't we come up with fix? APK's bad enough. Let's stick with standard. No. Oh, yeah, I've been playing around with that. If you want to follow along with that, I'm doing everything over on Interfacing Linux. Stay tuned. Bunch of interesting stuff coming up for 2025. How about you, Jordan? We played.
Yeah, we did a little bit of the It Takes Two, baby, me and you.
Yeah.
It went on sale. It finally went below our purchase limit, and we did it. And like originally, I was if you weren't available, I was going to do the Metaphor ReFantasio demo because we were talking about that before we went live. They have dropped sales tax on digital goods temporarily in Canada. So I can actually buy a AAA game for the price that it says on the thing on the store, which in this case is $70. But I hear Metaphor is really good. But you know, It Takes Two was a pretty good time.
I think it was better than we were expecting.
I think it was about on par with what I was expecting to go into. A little more like overtly dark than I would have given it credit for originally. But, yeah,
in a good way.
Yes. Yes. The human eyeballs on everything. Yes. They hyper focus on those too. Yeah.
Yeah, the gyrating horny bug. Go check out our live and uncut YouTube channel. I posted that I think yesterday or maybe today.
I think it was today or it's there at some point. Go to youtube.com/youtube.com and click on it.
Just type in LGC uncut. You'll put it.
Yeah.
Pedro squishy game floaty thing. Mateus.
Look, as we've established in the pre-super shows, I wasn't the only one with one of those. Your
reservoir is dry.
Yeah, no, mine was dry. I found it years later. I found my squishy thing, and it was completely dry.
Happens to all of us ages. The cruel bitch.
This week, the Game Awards happened, and I was promised. The internet promised me. It's like, there's going to be a big Valve announcement. They're going to release Half-Life 3.
The internet's full of shit. No? Oh.
Did Valve even announce anything? I know.
I didn't see anything. No,
nothing. There was nothing Valve related in the Game Awards, and I'm like, all right, fuck you, internet.
I want to imagine that Gabe was just going around going like, hey, something big's gonna happen, just to fuck with people, just to drive up some hype.
I mean, hopefully I'm alive or like not in the home completely senile by the time Witcher 4 comes out. We got that cinematic trailer. A little excited about it. I get, internet going to internet about that, but like my take from that cinematic trailer is like, we're going to get like old, gnarled Ciri Witcher. Because she looks different. I'm like, I think like Ciri's like 100+ years old in this fucking trailer. Like when you watch like how she's handling shit, she's like, I am so over this bullshit.
She's an elf. She's clearly gone through the Witcher shit now, so she's like double immortal or something.
I don't see they got, and she went to the kitty cat school.
Yeah,
she's got a kitty cat pendant. So I got questions.
There's some brief implication that she also may have taken a visit to Night City, so I just want her to like pull out a fucking chromed out gun in Witcher 4 with like the self-guiding bullets and be like, you shall not pass, enjoy the fireworks, bitch.
But it is on Unreal Engine 5, which it'd be nice to get the horse over. It's stuck on what was that fucking engine?
Yeah, They also announced what the Red Engine, so Solasta 2 was another one that got announced that I'm excited for.
Solasta 2?
Yeah, because I streamed a little bit of Solasta Crown of the Magister with Sandrew Martin and who's in the chat right now. Right. It was prior to Baldur's Gate. It was kind of like the premier 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons based PC game. But it was really good. Like it wasn't at the level of polish of BG3, but it also didn't have the development team and budget that Baldur's Gate 3 had. So I'm excited to see more of that, and also Citizen Sleeper 2. I'm really excited.
Now, Pedro,
of course, I was disappointed at the Elden Ring thing.
Get fucked. Get absolutely fucked, you joyless cunt.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to you carrying
I said Jordan posted that in our Discord, and I was like, fuck yeah, we're gonna. Now, admittedly, Jordan and I are looking at it from the perspective of giving Pedro grief and a hard time.
Yes.
And I'm looking at it from the person who enjoys.
Pedro's like, I'm going to find a way to hate this.
No, the person who enjoys Elden Ring and doesn't like extraction shooter type video games, which is what that fucking is.
What if it? Well,
I'm just really looking forward to trying 6. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking forward to trying 5, and we have to do that at some point.
It's a dodge roll RPG, man. Like,
well, so we got to do that. We got to do Forgotten Realms, fucking Dark Alliance. Yeah.
Old Drizzle's sitting back in the corner. He's like, yeah.
New Dark Alliance. Yeah.
After like 5 years of waiting, he's like, "You guys gonna fix anything in that?" And they're like, "No."
Has that been updated?
And I would love to go back and do multiplayer for the old Dark Alliance if it wasn't $35 fucking forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
The price on that needs to come down a bit more. Whoever it was that did the new
talking about PlayStation 2 games, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what you can't run on the PlayStation 2 though? It only runs on the Sega Genesis, produced in Brazil. It's the Steam update. Speaking about game updates, Pedro, have you installed your game updates yet?
Speaking of the game updates and how often you get them, how often you have to download basically the entire game because they couldn't do differential patches. But yeah, if you're in the Steam beta right now, you've probably seen the bit that says, "Hey, you don't have to update this game right now. You can let Steam decide whenever you want to update, and if you do that, you may remember that when that one time you opened the downloads page and you saw that a game was queued up to be downloaded at 4 a.m. for some reason. You can still have that. You can still let Steam decide, or you can set, okay, no, just download it immediately or download it after a couple of weeks. But what I didn't see was what people have actually been asking for years. theirs now, which is the ability to just not update the game and still be able to play it, because you could just disable the updates for the game, but then Steam wouldn't let you launch the game from the Steam.
Just unplug your Ethernet cable.
Yes. Or you just set the game to not update, and then you create a shortcut that disables the Steam updates directly to the game's exe. There are ways around it, but seriously, Valve, come on. People have been asking for this for years. I understand not wanting to do this for multiplayer games. I get it. But for single player games, there's no fucking excuse. Just please, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the main reason is security, and as we've seen on the Windows side of things, if you give people, or hell, if you see this on like people who have iPhones, right? Like if you give people the option to select when they install upgrades, they never do, and so things don't get patched ever. And especially for like multiplayer games or games that like even single player games that have like an always on component, like it does represent a security risk to just like have a vulnerable executable running on your system.
Just force them to play offline.
I'm not disagreeing that, you know, you can't do that. There's not a facility to do it.
For one, listen, man, I'm just glad it's going to be an option, because I don't want to lose my scheduled update 2 weeks from now that we've all seen. You're like, because it'll be like next Tuesday at 4 a.m. or some shit like that. And you're like,
why? Do it now.
Right. Like anybody listening to this show is able to like, just go away.
Just seeing it in blue on the list is enough to get me to go to it.
Have you tried to leave it for a day or two? I have, just out of like spite. I mean, like, I'm not going to click and force that download to start right now. And I last about a day and I'm like, get off there. So it's good that that's the thing that you can cut on, off, or sideways if you enjoy your RNG download logic. So yeah, good guy Steam, doing consumer friendly shit every now and then. That's awesome.
Yeah. Not actively screwing over the consumers.
Yeah. Making changes that aren't outwardly hostile
bold,
immediately.
Innovative business strategies in 2024 from mine. Yeah.
Make a good product? Shock. No, we gotta wring more money out of our people.
Speaking of good products.
Speaking of, yeah. So Thomas Hardware reports this, links to all this stuff in our show notes, but Valve is now selling refurbished Steam Deck OLEDs, which means that enough people got them and were not pleased with them and returned them, and now there's a bunch of returned OLEDs, and they can start selling them again. I mean, you know, that's good for everyone else who, you know, actually wants them, though. We do love us some accessible options, just making it available. And like, what the price on these is pretty good now. The cheapest one is like about on par with the old LCD model, the only one that you can still buy now.
It's $439 for the 512 OLED refurb, which is good. That's, you know, just under $500 for the cheapest refurb OLED. That's all right. I still wouldn't buy it because I have that stupid arbitrary limitation of limiting my electronics purchases at 400 currency units. That's why I bought the 64 gig version.
That's why he has like $350 laptops. That's why. That's the way around it.
Hey, dude,
I limit myself to one glass of wine a day, and it's the giant fucking glass, right?
No, I mean, that's cool, dude. Like, if you can get, you know, $439, you're like, that's a big difference between $649, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah, go pick
and
it
it's
up.
a 500 gig with the new OLED screen and the new slightly improved APU, which performance-wise is fairly similar to the original one, but it runs a lot quieter and
even better yet with the like
up to another 4 hours of battery.
Weird, like, you know, like price limitations, which I get it, man. Like, just a couple of years later, you can get a Steam Deck that you can upgrade yourself, you know, the LCD for under $300. That's wild, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's good that there are affordable options now, and yeah, it stops becoming this sort of boutique specialty device. People can go out and get one, and people seem to really like them. That they're selling like hotcakes, but they're being returned. But you know,
well, I mean, there's always going to be returns, especially if it's something really popular.
OLED's more finicky than LCDs, and you know, it's a new product line, you know, segment of that, so they got to work out the bugs. And like, that's good. It's good. It's keeping shit out of landfills.
And their refurb stuff is good. They like their recertification process, like make sure all the screens and shit are working.
Valve
and again, as and you can buy the parts to repair it afterwards too. Like,
yes, they've done the very good thing of actually, and you didn't know, putting those extra parts available for people to buy to fix their own stuff. To, you know, they still need to work on the glue situation with the battery, because I've seen many battery mounting mechanisms that don't require fucking glue valve.
Pedro, why are you hyper focused on the Steam Deck when the new hot shit is just around the corner waiting for you to spend your money on it?
Let's talk about something that you're not going to be able to. This thing's going to be expensive. Lenovo might announce a not Steam Deck. What are we basing this on? Oh man, we're going to have to zoom and enhance like a mother on this one, aren't we?
Enhance.
Okay, here it comes.
Mechanical keyboard noises. What's that? It's a little Steam.
This is all based on this. There's a push to get a gaming OS on all of these handhelds, and Eagle Eye, like zoom and enhance over the Verge. They're like, hey man, there's a button with a Steam logo next to it. What are the other buttons? Like 3 dots, the hamburger menu.
The 3 dots button, that's more indicative, because you do get the 3 dots button on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, but man, this thing's got like RGBs on it and all that fun stuff. I'm not seeing any touchpads, so
what's that little square under the D-pad though? Is that like
probably a fingerprint reader?
For unlocking your Fortnite purchases.
A touchpad, but it's a teeny tiny one.
No, you see, that one's been optimized to work with foreskin.
It's for it's probably just a gyro sensitive area that you put it there to activate the gyro.
Now, one of the things we got to think about though, just because it's a Steam button, Jordan, doesn't mean that you press button receive Steam OS. So
that's true. We were talking about the branding guidelines last time, and there is a Steam included one that implies that it's installed and that's it. You can launch Steam on it. But Lenovo isn't a stranger to shipping Linux on devices. We've seen like ThinkPads that have Linux on them. So I don't know. I think the main thing is Valve has shown that you can have a successful PC product not running a Windows OS, and especially in like the gaming handheld form factor. And other PC manufacturers have taken note of that, because Windows on handheld still sucks ass.
Pretty bad, man.
Yeah. So like between this and Chrome OS, like there is a real future on the horizon in which like Windows will start losing market share because there are other better competitors on the market.
Well, I mean, you don't really want like Windows on your handheld, and you do want a Steam Deck, and that's not just us being like turbo Linux nerds. That's just the reality of it, because you want that integrated stack, and it's not just us. It's like people who are not into Linux, into gaming, they get it, and they're like,
dude. I saw a fucking Blue Sky post from Penny Arcade, the webcomic guy, talking about setting Proton versions, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of weird future are we in? We're like, yeah.
I love it. But here's the thing. I guarantee you that we're going to be seeing at least 2 like official, Steam blessed. We worked closely with Valve handheld devices at CES this year.
I hope so. I do. But I hope they will, keep the Steam Deck price. The thing that I was just saying is pretty good.
No, this is Sneaky Gaben. He's done going to the Game Awards and being like, oh, there's going to be a new announcement. Now he's going around the hardware people and going like, oh, CES, baby, there's going to be a new announcement.
Yeah, it's something
laughing
that's like,
from his boat.
Because the reason that the Steam Deck is as popular as it is, even though it's not running Windows. And I've seen some people with some weird comments about, oh, I bought the cheapest ROG Ally that I could secondhand specifically because it's a Windows thing instead of Linux. And I'm like, okay, so you want to have a worse experience?
Yes.
Gotcha. But
my Destiny, my Fortnite.
But that's the thing. People buy the cheap stuff. So how about something reasonably priced? Lenovo.
Do you hear this, Sparkle? Sparkle, I need a Sparkle deck, all right? I need 4 of those little buzzsaw fucking fans. Fuck battery. I want an IEC connector just straight into the fucking mains on the back of this thing.
No, we need
screen, TN panel. And we're going to get it for $129.99.
We need the Fatty Dove deck. We need the Fatty deck.
It's got a mechanical hard drive in it, too.
The Embernick Win 600 is, I want that. I genuinely want that because it is a very low-end x86 handheld. It's called the Win 600 because it comes with Windows. But yeah, it's the cheap. I want to see the budget options. I want to see how good of a gaming experience you can have on an actual budget thing that Valve is okay with stamping the thing to
That'll
say,
be interesting.
yes, this.
You know, and there's definitely like, you know, I think part of the reasons, like I'm just not into handheld. Like I have not bought a Steam Deck. I've just never had the desire for it. But I wonder if like part of like the psychology behind that is there's not that challenge of putting Linux on a thing. You know, that has been my entire life growing up, you know, of like, hey, let's get Linux on it. I'm like, but it's already got Linux on it. I'm like, can we put second Linux on it?
Yeah, set up VMware on your Steam Deck. So you can
like the people who unironically install Bazzite or some other distro on their Steam Decks. It's like,
I mean, have some fun with it. Like my first thought with like Steam Deck is like, can I get like NT4 on it or something? Like, yeah, it's that part of my brain that needs itching.
It's the Plan 9 deck.
Hey, let's touch on a couple of game updates this week, starting with something that Valve remembered they're working on, or at least they decided to put out an update. Deadlock. Man, I completely forgot Deadlock was a thing. It was the internet rage for about 20 seconds there, and I wouldn't like check the player base. It's dropped down to about 20,000 on average, which is pretty good for a game that's nowhere near done, Jordan.
It isn't. Yeah, look at all this stuff. It's all being rebalanced. They're redoing levels, they're redoing voice lines. I really hope that when it all is said and done, it transforms into like an RTS dating sim with some like light fighting game elements sprinkled in here and there. I mean, yeah. Look at these notes. It's all balancing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but you know, what I'm really feeling, Pedro, is that Deadlock's going to be morphing into more of like a racing game with like probably a pretty heavy emphasis on fishing.
I wouldn't put it past Valve to add a fishing mode later on, but yeah, no, the bit that actually caught my eye was the percentages on the weapon rebalances, and I'm going, are they going to make like, because they have the new hyper competitive mode where like the game is legitimately a little bit harder, and I like how Valve is also skirting the rules of their.
No, I like how they have a scroll thing here with nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're skirting the rules, their own fucking rules on their own fucking game. By you have to have a video on your store page. So there's technically a fucking video of us fucking still, but yeah, it is. I genuinely want something like this that doesn't have the Borderlands time to kill. I want something that, you know, if I'm playing the person with the sniper rifle and I land a headshot, I want to kill the person that I just shot.
But
I don't want to have to land 3 fucking headshots
that's
in order to drop someone.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, you are describing Counter-Strike, which does exist.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Like Deadlock is if you don't know, it's a game being developed by Valve. It's their new game that they're working on, published and developed by Valve. You can't even just jump into it because I just went and looked at the page. You still need to know somebody to play it, which kind of surprising.
Not difficult.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a subreddit to be like, hey, can I get a copy of Deadlock or something like that or whatever.
You know, I was refreshed to see from like the people I watch who were playing it. Mm-hmm. They did actually think that there's like this is like a relatively new take on the genre.
They're trying stuff.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see that like Valve is trying to push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
If you have the second most popular MOBA on the planet, then you might as well, you know, go for broke. See what else you can do. See if you can do something new. Shake up the genre. I still don't like it from what I played of it. I don't.
It's easy though, Pedro, because back in our day, MOBAs had wheels.
Well, a number of them drove themselves straight into the wall, but no, this is pocket cars. We've talked about it. I keep putting it in the notes whenever there's a new update. And I like the game. I genuinely do. And it's here. Version 1.0 is finally here. They're no longer in early access. It's they're very descriptive. It's like, what does 1.0 mean? It doesn't really bring new features. It's a polished thing, and it's a refined version of the game. You know, it's what you got in early access, but polished. It's the culmination of the feedback and the dedication to delivering a high quality experience.
You're selling the hell out of it. It's more like Waves hand polish. There we go.
Yeah.
Done. 1.0.
But I like the trailer. The music and the build up with the shots of the different tracks and the new cars and everything.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the trailer. That trailer looks damn good.
Dude, you're going to be disappointed as fuck when you go to play it.
That's the thing. If you want to play it multiplayer, you're probably going to have a hard time because there's no one else playing.
Bring your friends. How much is this going to cost you to have friends?
This is genuinely the sad bit because I really like the game and I want the people who are developing it to continue developing it. I'm that person that every now and then I fire up Revolt and I play all the way through all of the tracks because I genuinely like this like RC car type of game. And this is like a brand new one, so please, yes, more.
I mean, I'm down for it, man. What?
Have you considered like building RC cars yourself?
Yes. Have you seen the price of those?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Man, Cloudflare's not like letting me in.
Damn it, Cloudflare.
Yeah, I was trying to get to go check the Steam DB and see how many concurrent players, and I was like, nah.
Let's see. There's Steam Charts, the steamcharts.com website. What's this called? Pocket Cars. Pocket Cars.
Pocket Crabs.
2.
Yeah.
Two
whole players.
We're doing it, baby.
3.
24 hour peak.
All-time peak. 7.
Okay, all-time peak 4. Me and Pedro were like 3 of them.
Yeah, we did do a stream.
When did we play? December 11th. No. All. I don't know. I mean, you know what? I'm not shitting on the game if like the developers are listening, but like this, this is a victim of like dragging out a game that was like 96% baked and taking 4 years to tweak. The same thing happened to Distance.
Yes.
You know, another way, perfectly
it's that 80-20 rule, right?
And like, you just can't maintain somehow, like, and the only way like Besiege pulled that off was they're just insane with the updates. You know, every update is a novella of like insanity, and like these updates are like wheels go burr. Polish.
Yeah, and Besiege has the thing. It's like, okay, it's a game. So it's one of the less a game and more of a creative tool where it has game elements to,
It's got
it's a framework, right? Like the idea is introducing a new block recontextualizes all of the other blocks into how they work with this new thing, and it opens up new possibilities. And then they have like new terrain types like water and whatnot,
there's
right?
a particular crowd that keeps getting drawn to those types of games. Minecraft is as popular
but it's
as
also
it is
like the
because of that.
regular ass updates and adding like, substance to the game itself, as maybe every 9 months coming out with an update of like, hey, we added a new map.
And they hit the roadmap on that too. That's the other thing, is they published that shit and they hit their goals.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Pocket Cars, I genuinely do like it. It's got physics-wise for RC cars. It's good. It's got the power-ups. It is effectively like the 2020s version of Revolt, and I'm down for that. But it needs more. It needs more people playing it.
All right, let's talk about boomer shooters.
I was gonna say it's time for 7 days to it's 6 years of Dusk. 3,000 years of solitude. Is this hentai indeed? I don't know. They have a big screenshot of like a folder full of sessions. Is it hentai parts 1, 2, and 3? That's what stood out at me. But there's a lot of goodies coming out here. As they're coming up along the 6-year anniversary of Dusk. They're adding a bunch of new stuff to the goodies pack. As they do, they added another development build if you want to see the really, really, really early prototype of what Dusk used to be like. they were working on that comic book of theirs. It got a little bit out of control. Apparently, it's like 300 pages. They want to turn it into a hardcover. Did any of you read the Doom 64 comic that came out in the 90s?
No, but I think I only know it exists because you mentioned it before.
I read the Diablo 2 comic.
Yeah, I just hope that the DUSK comic is anywhere near as mental as the Doom 64 comic, because that shit was that was great. I like this little Junji Ito type Uzumaki arm leg thingy. It's really cool. I like
I don't know, I'm getting like Samurai Jack vibes.
Allusions to the final boss fight of the game. Spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, there's also a physical copy in the works as well, which comes with a bar of soap, because apparently you don't talk about Fight Club in DUSK.
That's the thing. The soap is the single most powerful weapon in the game.
Is it on a rope?
No. You throw the soap and then you have to fight it again if you want to reuse it. But yeah, it is it is genuinely the weapon that you throw it at something and it explodes. So yeah,
just like any other gamer. You throw soap at them and they explode.
YouTubers, yes. But yeah, no, it is genuinely I don't know if it was the one that kicked off the new rash of boomer shooters, but it's certainly the one that popularized it. But yeah, it is the OG Quake-like, and I really enjoyed the game when it first came out. And it's, at least the base game itself is on Linux. They released new DLC for it a while back, which unfortunately is not available for the Linux version. Boo. But yeah, no, the base game is still very much available on Linux. So
it says a medieval, not AMD evil. I got confused for a second.
That's a different game, but also boomer shooter, also very, very good. They have a new SDK coming for people to add custom stuff. They have the facilities to add new weapons and enemies. Those are the ones that they specifically point out. And yeah, that physical edition, if they keep it around long enough, I might buy one, because I genuinely like DUSK.
Also, you genuinely need soap.
Does it come?
Hey, I shower.
I mean, listen, man, soap's only effective if you're playing the Dragon Con level. But does it come with a dolly?
I don't know if it comes with a dolly. They only mentioned the soap, and
I mean, if it comes with a dolly, you'll buy it on eBay 20 years from now for like $9.
Look, you gotta carve the soap into a doll.
Pedro's gonna get his dollies out.
Not a dolly.
I didn't see you playing with your toys again, sir.
The Project Warlock USB
drive
key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was lipstick for a second. I thought you were just gonna like, goodbye, horses.
Yeah, no, close enough. Yeah.
I'm dying over you.
Oh, but yeah, no, I when it comes to supporting companies and people who develop the video games that I enjoy, releasing a physical copy that I can get my mitts on, it's a very good way to get me on board.
I've never been big on like code. Jordan, have you ever bought like a video game related physical merch outside of Pokemon?
Recently, no.
I don't want to say no, but
box games used to like come with shit like posters and like cloth maps and stuff. So if it was like one of those, then maybe.
What's that?
It's the Force Unleashed, Warlock. I think. Oh, Project Warlock. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought the fuzzy thing in the front was maybe like Yoda or something.
It could be. He's like a soldier.
Sith lightning. I thought I told you. Watch the X-ring rise.
All right. For our audio listeners, Pedro's holding up a thing to the camera.
It's very glossy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to see Yoda, but
listen, you got to be careful throwing up your fan works. We might get delisted.
Yeah, dude. Talk about people just minding their own damn business.
Right. All right. So we got a couple pieces of news here. Number one, itch.io. It's a cool place to buy your indie video games and maybe publish your indie or post your indie video games if you want to expose them to a broader audience and you don't want to pay $100 to get on Steam. And yeah, So let's rewind a bit. Let me tell you a story about a lady named Cynthia Williams. Cynthia Williams was once upon a time in charge of a company named Wizards of the Coast. And they had a bit of a heavy-handed response a couple of years ago when some March of the Machines booster boxes got released a little bit early to some streamers who were very excited about this and were showing it on their streams. And then they were given a little visit from the Pinkertons. And Cynthia Williams has no longer working with Wizards of the Coast and has moved on to Funko Pop, where her reign of terror continues. In this case, though, I don't think it's necessarily her, but this was due to a Funko Pop fan site hosted on itch.io, was flagged by Brand Shield, which is an AI-powered brand protection software. So I did a little bit of research into what Brand Shield actually does. And it's an AI-based anti-counterfeiting suite of tools. So guys like New Balance and like Bang & Olufsen use them to find folks who are like selling knockoff merch and get them delisted, which probably explains the scorched earth approach that this tool did once it found a Funko Pop fan site on itch and then sent Linode and their DNS registrar a fraud and phishing cease and desist as opposed to a DMCA claim, and that just got them just straight up delisted. You could still get to the site by punching in their IP address or setting up a host file entry, but yeah, there's that old IBM slide, a computer can't be held accountable, therefore a computer should never make a management decision. So this is one of these things where a false flag sent a real like damaging takedown request to companies. Lots of people lost money in the hours that they were unable to sell their games on itch, and Brand Shield's execution is like highly irresponsible. Funko, I don't know. Funko's our trash company. Pedro will get into that a little bit more. But yeah, it's a bit of a fucked up situation.
It is. It is like Funko in itself, as Jordan was alluding to. We don't need more reasons to hate Funko. The fucking Funko Pops, they've completely ruined the, me being just being completely developmentally stunted at the age of 13. And whenever I go shopping, I always take a little detour around the toy aisle because, hey, I like to look at the new toys. And lately, it's either Fortnite or Funko Pops, and fuck both of those as far as I'm concerned. So
you gotta buy some Stumble Buddies toys, though.
So yeah, no, I most of the time I don't even buy anything. It's just I like to look at the new toys. I like to look at them. And ever since the Funkos started appearing, it's entirely derivative bullshit. It's not even good. And yeah, it is. If for this specific situation, if you're the registrar of something like itch.io, one of the biggest like truly indie game storefronts out there, and you actively shaft the company based on an AI report without talking to the company first, without asking, it's like, hey, is this on the level, or are you doing anything about this at the very least? This
is what happens as more and more stuff gets put to these AI tools. You get into these situations where computer says no, can't do anything about it, when there should be human oversight. And yeah, it's a problem.
We got Pedro. What fucking pop is this?
That's the penis pop.
That's the Funko Pop.
That's the Funko Pop. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, it's like a dick move. And like, I was reading the guy's Twitter thread, and I was like, on a Sunday too, and I'm like, motherfucker. We've all woke up to surprise bullshit. We're like, well, I didn't plan on this side quest today. So I empathize with that, and just needless bullshit and people not being able to like get to their own stores, because like for a lot of small indie developers, that is their entire web presence.
Yeah. There are, okay, there's a lot of crap on itch, yes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really, really genuinely good stuff if people deliberately don't want to put it on Steam or on Epic or
it's large enough to where it's got its own real community behind it. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Admittedly, if you would ask me like 6-7 years ago, I'm like, be careful when you're browsing there, Brian.
Well, there's a lot of porn there too, but no.
Before Valve was like, bring it in.
So
Now Valve's like, put the porn on too. We don't care.
more porn. We need it everywhere.
What was the most pornographic console game ever released?
Define console.
Plumbers don't wear ties.
That's
BMXXX?
the one I was going to go for.
BMXXX is another one.
Yeah, BMXXX was that was the one I played. Yes.
Some leisure suit Larry's, maybe. Custer's Revenge.
Yeah. Okay, now here's like a thing. Is there anything like adult rated for current gen? Just out of curiosity, like this is not something if you know, like leave me a comment on below the video if you're like dumbass. Yeah, there's an entire industry that we don't know about.
R-rated, yes, but probably not for porn.
Well, I remember. Okay, I knew the other kid in primary school.
One with the 3DO.
No, who had the Sega CD.
Okay.
And we were not friends. Like we didn't hang out with each other. We didn't acknowledge, but we were the people who had the Sega CD, so we had to trade games. So we had to come with, and he had Night Trap, and Night Trap had all this hiss around it about like, oh, it's so naughty, and like I played through that thing, man, nothing. No, it wasn't even PG-13, man. I was mad.
Yeah, Catherine is about as pornographic as most of the daytime animes.
Baldur's Gate 3. That shit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fucking in that one.
Bear in mind, Baldur's Gate 3, yeah.
Do you like multiple kinds of bears in the same scene?
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is a very good one. Yes. There's an entire other massive RPG attached to it, but yeah.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about that. It's for real, it's just a turn-based dating sim.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of this to lead up to the fact that RPCS3, which used to be sort of a weekly thing for a while there when they were releasing the big updates to get, like, massive new functionality and a bunch of new games working. Now they're at the point where, okay, there's still like 50 games that don't work. So we're working on those, but in the meantime, we're going to start working on other things. Yep. ARM64. They're with the advent of more powerful ARM things, despite where
what
Qualcomm
type of sick twisted sense of humor bullshit is this?
Sega.
Sonic. What was it called? Sonic. Not Dimensions. Anniversary Edition. I think it was the one that had the old Sonics that you could play on the PS3. And yeah, it is effectively RPCS3 for ARM64 things, which makes a lot of sense with the popularities of Raspberry Pis and the Apple Silicon, like the M1. They even have a comparison of RPCS3 running natively on Mac OS on the M1, and at the same time also running on
Rosetta.
The Linux one, Zahi.
Oh,
and they have. They did mention it's like, the fact that there is currently no Vulkan driver available for the M1 on Asahi. It's like, wait, is that true? Like, oh yeah, okay. There's no Vulkan driver for Asahi quite yet. It's in development. The initial workings. Yeah, the initial workings are there, but they do have the comparison. It's like, okay, yeah, the games work a lot better on native macOS using Molten VK than they do on native OpenGL on Asahi. So,
speaking of Catherine.
Yes, there's Catherine. But yeah, it is genuinely amazing, like the level of performance that they've already gotten to, especially on the Raspberry Pi. The fact that games work at all, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
Now, there's some caveats here with it running on a Raspberry Pi, because it's at 272p. They tried running some stuff at 720p, and they got a whopping 10 FPS. Running it on a PSP resolution seems to work a lot better. They can, like, get into stuff like Demon Souls and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. If you're watching the video version, that's what's on screen right now. And yeah, it's very good progress. But yeah, if you want to actually play games on ARM with any sort of real performance, you want to do this on the M1. Although I'm curious to see now that this is out, if people have those Snapdragon laptops and can get a Linux booted on there, how well our RPCS3 performs on that.
What if they got Snapdragon desktops?
Then I want to see those numbers too.
Lucky bastards. Yes.
Yeah. then I want to be their friend.
Stay tuned. Spoilers.
But yeah, don't talk about an iOS Android version. There is only one PS3 emulator that has the ARM support.
Yeah,
it's RPCS3. Do not. There's in fact there is a big. You like that no piracy pop up once you get on that.
Page.
Do not pirate anything with our software. Someone got a little spooked from the whole Yuzu mess, didn't they?
Well, I mean, yeah, just gotta be cool and clean with it, man. For me, the PlayStation 3, I think for like a lot of people, the PlayStation 3 was just the Blu-ray player, right?
For many people it was because it was cheaper than a Blu-ray.
I mean,
player.
I genuinely know. I can think of two people right now that went out and bought a PS3 because they're like, yeah, Blu-ray player. Like, did you get any games? Like
$600
no.
Blu-ray player, which you
was
have
cheaper
people
than
making,
$9.
Yes,
and it could play some games if you wanted to do that.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You have people mocking the $700 PS5 Pro. Fairly so. What is the justification?
Pedro, need I remind you that this PS3 came with a theatrical copy of Talladega Nights.
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Great movie.
I also got my free copy of Spider-Man 2 on UMD for the PSP. Because I bought a PSP and they had the little thing that you filled out and then you sent it to them, and I did. And they sent me a copy of Spider-Man 2, the movie.
Yeah.
For the PSP on little UMD.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Once.
I knew John was the one who, like, this is not recent memory, but something we discussed recently. Because he was like, he got that for the Blu-ray player, and he's like, "Yo, you want it because you want to watch television?" I went over like to humor him, like, check it. He's like, "Look how crisp it looks. It's sharp." And I'm like, "Homie, I've been watching 1080p video for like a decade, man. This is not news to like people with PCs, but I'm glad you're happy with it." So, yeah. Stay tuned? Question mark. I'll definitely be testing RPCS3 on some ARM64 shit in the upcoming months. That might be actually interesting too.
I guess you can technically say in the upcoming year.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
In 2025.
It'll be at some point in 2025 maybe.
And it might be able to do a little bit better than 30 FPS at the PSP resolution. Might not look quite so chunky.
Yeah.
Then again, it very well just might not work at all. No. All right, that's going to wrap us up. Man, you know what? We got like 48 minutes considering nothing happened this week.
There's a lot of stuff happening in games, but not for Linux.
No. Maybe we need to do, I need to get more narrow. Like the holidays are rough though, dude. Like, it's not just like the gaming, but the entire tech sector just fucks off in November.
Yeah.
And doesn't come back until CES, right? And we're just kind of like chilling out, talking with ourselves, but yeah.
Which is why I was expecting, even
Half-Life
if it wasn't going to be Half-Life 3, it was never going to be Half-Life 3. But it's like, okay, Valve maybe having an announcement during the Game Awards, that could be interesting. That could give us a lot of things to talk about. Fucking nothing.
Nothing.
I want to see just like the very special announcement from Gabe Newell, and he just like gets on a stripper pole and just does the dance number. That's it. That's a special presentation. Just walks off the stage. Doesn't announce anything.
One thing during the Game Awards, what was his name? The flute player guy was back.
Oh yeah, Fabio, I think his name is.
I don't know his name. I just saw a clip and I'm like, oh shit, homeboy's back. Nice.
Yeah, no, they bring him back all the time now because everyone's just like, man, I wish I could get as happy about anything as this dude gets about the flute.
So yeah, let me know in the comments. But let's just go ahead and do this real quick before we get out of here. Is there anything you're looking forward to in 2025? Because like Pedro's going to die for a couple of weeks. So this is going to be the last time.
Yeah, I won't be here next week or
Dead,
the week after
deceased,
that
buried.
because Portugal.
He choked on a Portugal.
Pedro, or are you looking forward to anything?
Avowed.
Fado music.
Avowed for like at least earlier in the year. They say it's going to be like February something or other, 18th.
Yeah, and end of February, like 20 something or yeah.
Around there, February 2025. So that one I very much want because it's Obsidian and it's in the Pillars of Eternity world, and
yeah, it's not Skyrim.
Yeah, it's Obsidian makes not Skyrim. Well, if Valve do actually release the Steam Controller 2, I'm genuinely looking forward to the Steam Controller 2.
Now, can I throw this in? Can we all just be grateful? Here we are at the end of 2024, where we're able to just randomly look forward to new games that are going to have Windows release, just knowing like, yeah, we'll be able to play it.
Most likely just going to fire right up. Yep.
Yeah.
you think we're going to hear anything about Silksong in the coming year?
Difficulty multiplier.
See, I'm one of the motherfuckers that backed it. All right? I'm the motherfucker. I've been waiting 9 years for this damn game.
Yeah, I'm so unreliable source, which is why I want to hear it.
I don't know, dude. Like, Silksong just seems like one of those things that was either going to get dropped at the Game Awards or it's going to get dropped next Tuesday out of nowhere.
When it comes, it comes.
Yeah. Like
a Silksong is never late. It launches precisely when it intends to.
I think like a lot of people with any particular game that after, a couple of years of like the hype cycle and you don't even do it intentionally. You distance yourself to the point, which is the dangerous thing for a studio if you're looking to continue, because you're like, it comes out. Like I'll play it, but I'm not, you got to hit that hype curve, man. But let's see. Things I'm excited. Things I plan on playing. Probably Stellar Blade when it comes to PC in 2025. That looks like it's like near combat enough.
Slow near.
Slow near, but not Souls near. It's not anime game near. What was that one called?
Code Vein.
Code Vein, yeah. That was way too slow. This one looks like it's got...
Code Veronica.
Yeah, that
one. That's a different one.
And I can play as the Nier characters in it.
Yeah, they have you can play Pretty Princess and dress your character like 2B. Yeah.
Yeah. Too lazy to do that shit. I'll play whatever the default skin is. Jordan, how about you? Any game announcements that you're like, yeah, all right, yeah.
Avowed, Slay the Spire 2. I definitely will give Solasta 2 a look.
All right.
Yeah, that's I think that's kind of it, really. I'm sure like other stuff will come out eventually. That there's supposed to be like another BG3 patch. They're like, no, we swear it's the last one. We swear.
Yeah,
shut up, Cyberpunk.
Like, oh, we've moved everyone onto our new game except the 30 people that are still actively developing for.
Here's a bunch of new subclasses. Here's a bunch of all this other shit. Yeah. No, we swear this is the last update. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's going to be a lot of stuff to play around on. Like, yeah, the hardware, like Steam Controller 2, probably going to pick one of those up. I'm really excited, about the ARC, the Battlemage, B380, B580, B580.
580.
Yeah. I'm excited that there's a piece of hardware people can get excited about again.
Do you think we're going to see like the B770 or whatever the fuck it's called?
What I've read up on that is like almost a year out. They just got everything fine at the scuttlebutts to be believed. Like we're gonna, but there's such a wide open market of the $250 value GPU has not existed for like 7 years.
Yeah.
What was
since the pandemic,
the
yeah.
$100.
The last thing that we got that resembled a value GPU, and it wasn't a good one. It was just the best that we were happy for the pity fuck was the 1650. That was the last value GPU.
And even then,
It wasn't great.
The RX 570 was better. It admittedly used about like double the power.
Dimmed your lights a little bit when you, yeah.
Yeah,
But it heats your
used
apartment
double
in the
the power
winter.
because the 1650 was just PCI powered, and the RX 570 required some models required a 6-pin, others were an 8-pin. But yeah, it is the $150 mark for where the 750 Ti and the 1050 Ti, those were legitimately really good GPUs for $150 when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had that.
We haven't.
Since then.
And there's really good space for that because we're seeing a lot of like these handheld computers. They're running a much lower spec level than your even like one of these fucking graphics cards, right?
Yeah.
So this like
they're just CPUs.
And it's definitely about like the $200, just that price range. And it sent a message I was talking about in the pre super shows, and might have just been in the pre-show. If you're a patron, go back and listen to the pre super shows. And I know that the Intel, their B580 sold out because I tried to buy one. Yeah. They were like out of stock. And I'm like, well then, that was quick because it was within a couple hours of launch. And beautiful time. Great timing for it. I hope it's weird rooting for Intel. But
Yeah, they're the new big player on the market, so it's kind of fun.
We just need, it's about sending a fucking message, Pedro.
Yeah.
And hopefully AMD and NVIDIA get that message and they go, all right, so we can't do the 130% profit margins on our silicon anymore.
It's not even like rooting for Intel proper. It's like rooting for their anemic GPU division that they're like, here's $5. Go make us a gaming
the
GPU.
actual underdogs, yes, of the big massive corporation, but in the market that they're just coming into, they are the underdogs.
And look on the bright side, more open source drivers, right?
Yeah.
And who knows?
That is the big one.
I'm going to get my Battlemage, and we're going to find out if it does. The gaming stuff is another thing, but let's find out what it can do with like DaVinci Resolve, Blender, and all the other fun stuff. Maybe a little bit of AI. We'll make it draw pictures of Pedro.
We'll make it send faulty takedown requests to DNS
Yes.
registrars. Yeah.
Hey, before we get out of
take
here,
down Funko site.
if you like what we do, you want to help us out, you want to join the crew, Shenanigan Financing over on linuxgamecast.com. That's a port tab. We have Patreon, LibrePay, PayPal, and of course, Internet Money, Magic Internet Money. We got wish lists. Jordan's got one, Jill's got one, Pedro's got one. I got one for the studio. If you want to pick us up some holiday cheer, do it. Send us in a note. We'll read it right here on the show. Of course, we got merch. You want to get an Obey shirt. You want to get some Helllock stickers, all that stuff. Put us all over your face, chest, and neck. That would be nice. And Humble affiliate. If you're picking up something on the old Humbly, give us a little taste of that. We do appreciate your support. As a patron, you get the live and uncut version of this show if you're listening to it. What's the runtime? It's going to be about an hour, but, the live and uncut's usually like 2.5, 3 hours. So if you like that, we give it to you in podcast format, along with weekly, daily Wednesdays, invites to our game streams, access to our Discord, and a bunch of other cool shit like your name in the credits as a thank you for letting us make it possible. But that's going to do it for tonight. We've somehow managed to squeeze about an hour
Padding.
Yeah. I didn't even tell you about my cool new socks.
No. Now this is the part in the college English essay where we repeat everything we've said previously, just slightly changing the words and adding some more
It's
ands.
the conclusion. Yes.
You see, I actually have the tools right now with DaVinci Resolve with some of the shit I have to do time stretching without pitch shifting. So I could probably add like another 2 or 3 minutes and you would not be able to tell.
We need extra pitch shifting but just be like moving normally.
On that slow moving bombshell, it's time to cue the music, ladies and gentlemen. You can always find us right here on Twitch, kicking the nightmare into your face, 8 p.m. Saturday night. And come say hi. We'll say hi back. It's the thing. YouTube, just /Linux Gamecast. We got one of those legacy YouTube channels if you want to give a like and subscribe. to everything we do over there, and you'll find a link to our uncut channel as well. You can follow what I do over on Interfacing Linux. If you're like one of my little Linux creative miscreants, we get up to all kind of crazy stuff. Got a forum as well, and get in touch with me. I'm at Vinstone on the Twitters. I'm at Vin on the Blue Sky socials, and just at Vin over on mast.linuxgamecast.com.
I'm Jordan, and when I'm not trapped in the Speed Force, I'm trapped in the Speed Horse. That horse did a lot of meth. Follow my exploits at Blue Sky, at Frojo, at bsky.app, or on Mastodon at frojo at mast.linuxgamecast.com.
And if you want to put our humble affiliate link to use, and you don't have Neverwinter Nights, please do go get that bundle, because it is genuinely a really nice bundle if I didn't have most of the games on it already. Yeah, Beamdog, good job. You can follow me at unaccounted for with the actual number 4 at mass.linuxgamecast.com for the social media things if you want. I don't know.
we're bleeping all of Pedro's spiel out until Beamdog gives us money, right?
Marketing, ladies and gentlemen. Time for some credits.
Tight is
tight like a tiger. Well, I'm tight. I'm tight with our advisors, Arthur, and our executive producers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Ian, Eshep, Kraducky, Drummer, Thargos, Barbramp, Scott, Atomic, Mike, and our little Nicky fans, Eggy, Basil, Empty, and Casey.
And the Sea Monsters, Assing Joe, John, Dirty Dean, Angel, Dementor, System TRL, Rider X, Machina, Nehemiah, Vertinuda, Trudgeon, Mike, and the Death Notes, Reddisk, Mark, Tara, Oil of Hope, Benjamin, Nova, Chad, Romeo, Turnover,
We need somebody
Martin,
to join
Renee,
us, Oil of
Leonardo,
Despair.
Kim, Chris, Jill, and Steve. And
Paulo,
Sherlings,
Jack,
so many Sherlings, Beckett,
Marshall,
Joanna,
Nick,
Gronkadolga,
North Ranger, and of course Sandy and Shoddy. And Sandy, big shout out for all
Max
the
Minoji.
gift subs. And that's why you got a big gold ass fucking train next to your name on Twitch, because you're cool like that, my man.
They call him Gold Train.
Old
The hype train.
yeah,
Choo choo.
old Train Martin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next week.
Run a train on him, Martin.
Dying of fire.
5 dudes.